I'm going to respond to the Browder deposition. I've watched a couple of hours of it, I believe, and I'd like to provide you with the context. Some people seeing this may not understand what they're seeing. The context is this. Browder believes that the Klyuev Gang stole $230 million from the Russian people, and Browder wants the criminals held accountable. The alleged criminals are challenging Browder's account of events through their lawyer, who is defending them from charges of money laundering. So the lawyer defending the criminals, the alleged criminals, challenges some of the elements of Browder's account, and he presents documents and arguments that Browder is unfamiliar with in detail. And it turns out that some of Browder's story apparently is based on research done by his team, and Browder cannot substantiate various details of the account provided by his team. He's unfamiliar with all the details. He doesn't know who is the source, for example, of the travel records showing that these alleged criminals met in Cyprus to plan the tax fraud before they, acting as criminals, used their position as government officials to raid Browder's office in Moscow and the office of his lawyer, Duncan Firestone. The lawyer is picking apart elements of Browder's story, which appear to be based on an investigation done by his team, the details of which are not intimately familiar to Mr. Browder. This makes Browder look bad. He can't tell you who provided various documents. Either he doesn't know or he doesn't want to provide the identity because perhaps these people are still in Russia and are subject to possible harassment by these criminals who are, some of whom are government officials. That's what I've gotten so far. You need to remember the name Klyuev. And I put all this in the context of the murder of the former FSB agent Alexander Litvinenko, and it's pretty well determined that he was murdered in London with a dose of poison in the form of polonium put in his tea. He drank it and he died over the course of about a month or maybe 3 weeks from radiation poisoning. And the government of the British government knows the identities of the two Russians that poisoned him. And even though they would have been convicted if they were present in Britain, but they're in Russia, and of course Putin will not extradite them. And I put all this in context of a history of looting and theft of resources and money and property belonging to the Russian people, resources misappropriated by Putin and his government. There's quite a bit of information showing theft and corruption in Putin's government. So Browder is up against a corrupt government And this deposition, these individuals uh, are trying to discredit Browder. Browder is a whistleblower, but the deposition makes it appear as though he is under investigation. Keep in mind that the man questioning Browder is the attorney hired by the alleged criminals.